Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez, Basic Politics Unfiltered. Back for part 2. It's the update. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. This is a special update. Did you expect the inspector to get back to me ever? Well, he finally did. That's right. The Inspector General got back to me, so I'm going to do a live, whether I have people or not, but I will have it there so you can watch it. Folks can watch it later because I forgot to mention it. So, yeah, the Inspector General got back to me. Good evening, folks. Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. I am back with a quick update. Today, as I was just about to leave, I got a call from the Inspector General. Yes, the Inspector General, Liam McLaughlin, finally got back to me today. I almost missed him as I was just about to walk on, so I wanted to come back on really quick because I wanted to mention that. And I spoke to the Inspector General, and you know, I have a lot going on. So when with matters like this, and I'm getting information from people, I do record because I want to make sure that I get all the information. I don't leave anything out, right? There's no detail that I forgot. So I mentioned that because the Inspector General mentions it, and I did want to play the conversation. Again, I told the Inspector General I would be playing this conversation, my phone's record, business purposes, right? And I want to make sure that we get everything right. And I would mention it regardless. Is this the Inspector General?
This is Liam McLaughlin. Yes, it is.
How you doing, Liam? This is McLaughlin. This is Freddie Vasquez. I was calling the office because I have received an email was sent to me that was sent to your office in regards to John Rubel and AMS Acquisitions in a quid pro quo allegations or an inquiry made by a resident of the city, something similar, very similar to the Mike Cater situation. And so I was wondering if there was an investigation happening or going to be happening in that case.
Well, what is the email you're referring to? Who allegedly sent this to me? Because I'm not sure what email you're referencing.
Okay, the gentleman put, I believe it's a fake name, but it could be real. He has reached out to me. It's Sam White Sauce is actually the name on the email. It was addressed to your office. It has your email address on there. I was given a screenshot of it.
Well, you said White's off. I have seen an email from a Sam White Sauce.
Yes, that's what I said. Maybe it didn't come clear. Yes, Sam.
I might have misunderstood you. I don't know who that is, and actually, I don't believe I ever received that email. I saw correspondence from our corporation counsel, Matt Gallagher, responding to that email. Did Mr. White Sauce ever forward you the corporation counsel's response?
No, he forwarded me because he had not received a response, and since it was sent back in December and he hadn't heard anything, is why he reached out to me.
Okay, I'm not sure. He received a response from the corporation counsel on November 5th. Now, if he's saying he was not happy with that, that's one thing. But I don't have an email here. Now, I don't know if it went to junk mail or something else. But in regard to this issue, what I can tell you is that this issue was thoroughly reviewed by the Ethics Commission, Board of Ethics, at Council Member Rubo's request. So I'm not sure who's trying to make what issue out of it, but it has been reviewed, and certainly to my satisfaction, and I believe the satisfaction of the Corporation Council.
Well, I don't know if they're trying to make an issue. The gentleman didn't mention. I will reach out to the gentleman, right? Because I think it's fair to find out if he did receive a response, and if he did, then I would like to know, why he didn't mention that. But he said, according to him, he didn't receive a response. But in terms of the thoroughly reviewed, is there anything that the public can get any information on that? Investigation, what was reviewed exactly? Is any information that that the people can know about, because the Mike Cater stuff is obviously been public. There's a lot of information out there regarding it. People know what's happening, but they haven't heard anything about this. And there's a lot of concerns there because he's the chair of the real estate committee. AMS is a big time developers here. He's been involved in certain deals, and I know that the ethics committee has said nothing there is going on unethical. He doesn't have to recuse himself from those votes. But I mean, is there anything?
I'm aware of that ruling by the ethics board.
I'm sorry.
So you just seem to reference the ruling of the ethics board, and
well,
like you're familiar with that ruling.
Well, yeah, but that was in reference to something earlier in regards to him just sitting on the chair of the real estate committee and just making voting on real estate stuff, considering his landlords are AMS. But this is more specific and is now requesting an investigation by your office, not just by the ethics committee, but by your office, based on specifically also with the court case and with Carlos Burgos and the fact that Harris Beach represented the gentleman who was challenging Carlos Burgos' signature as Harris Beach also have a contract with the city, and was that paid through his campaign. I know the handwriting expert was paid by the Rubo campaign to like John Rubo. They paid $10,000, but there's no mention there of the lawyer fees being paid, even though it was mentioned in the court case.
To my knowledge, all those issues were addressed in the November 5th email from the Corporation Counsel. With that said, in reviewing it, there's no need or investigation or need for an investigation coming out of my office based on the responses that were given at that time.
And that November 5th email, is that a public email? I can get a copy of that somewhere? Or are you referring to the Board of Ethics ruling?
No, that's an email that Matt Gallagher sent.
I got you.
White sauce, as you say.
I got you.
Fake name.
Yeah, it probably is. It sounds like it. Right, and I will ask him about that. I'm glad you told me the date on it so I can be specific when I do ask him.
It seems in the email as if his name is Dorian, Mr. Dorian.
Oh, I know Dorian. Dorian Declan?
That's him or not, I'm not sure. Can I just ask you a question? Are you recording this conversation?
Well, my phones are always recording. I'm on my office phone.
I think if you're doing something like that, you might want to advise people of that. Legally, you don't have to.
Right.
It certainly is the courteous thing to do to advise people that you're recording conversations. But that said, Mr. Vasquez.
Well, anything that you and I speak about, I would talk about it anyway. Whether it's recorded or not. So I wouldn't leave anything out necessarily. So
It's polite to tell people when you're recording conversations.
Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, move forward. And this is not just it's just in general. I just really for my clients when they say, "Oh, well, did you make that call?" I can say, "Yeah, I can refer to it," and then I can show them the recording, right? When they ask me if I was doing my job or not, right? So that's why I record my conversation.
My understanding is you recorded the conversation with one of my staff people.
Yeah. Yes, Paul Hart.
I don't know that that's terribly appropriate, certainly within your rights, but
well, I just want to make sure that I don't misquote anyone, right? I want to make sure I'm accurate and I remember the details, and then so that way I can speak on them when I do speak on them, I get it right. I have a lot going on in my memory. Not that it's bad, but sometimes I may forget things. So it's like any other reporter would do. They'd have a real recorder and they just when they interviewing someone or asking questions just so they can remember a reference to it. But it's not, anything to, I guess malicious intent, I guess, if that's it's nothing like that.
I would tell people that that's me.
Yeah. Well, listen,
what it is from the question that had been asked in regard to Councilmember Rubo, it has been
But it wasn't based on that email that was sent.
I don't know what email you're referring to because I don't know if I've received it.
But you said the guy's name. You mentioned the name.
To me from the Mr. White source.
Yes, that one.
In response to an email that was sent to the council members, and I am not on that email. I don't know if there was a subsequent email that was allegedly sent to me, but if there was, I don't believe I received it. However, I'm assuming, based on what you're saying, that the email is similar to the one that was sent to the council members, if not identical.
Yeah, it is. It would be because you said he sent the same exact one to the council in your office. So I'm not
saying he did not. I'm just saying, when things go on with computers and junk mail, I don't know. But if he sent me the same email, my response would be that this was clearly handled and discussed by the Board of Ethics along with our corporation counsel. So there would be no investigation necessary on the part of this office.
Okay, and so is there anywhere that I could go to maybe to get some, what the Board of Ethics said exactly, or are there any details on that review?
I'm sure you can get that information. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't know how to tell you to get it.
I gotcha.
Possibly foil it.
Right, I gotcha.
Now, maybe an easier method. I'm just calling up and requesting it for all I know. But if all else fails, you can certainly foil the information.
Okay, yeah, I thought I'd ask. Now, and before I let you go, I know you're very busy. So with the Mike Cater situation, that's still an ongoing investigation, or is that done? And what's the difference between that situation and John Rubel? Because John Rubel seems to have wrapped up really, really quick without even any mention of it.
The differences are significant, but I really cannot comment on that investigation as it is ongoing.
I gotcha. All right. Well, Inspector General, I do appreciate the returning my call. I really do. And again, nothing here is being done with malicious intent. My goal is simply just to bring transparency to the city, inform the residents on issues, and I always try to be very fair. And I always welcome, your office to ever contact me if there's ever anything that maybe on my podcast that I might have mentioned that you may disagree with, and you want to clear it up. I always welcome that, and I'll give that opportunity because I do want everyone to present their side in any matter, in any case. I do want to be fair, so I just want to say that. And there's nothing that I try to do malicious intent, with Paul, Mr. Paul Hart as well. So just so that you understand that.
No worries, and my pleasure.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Be well.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was the conversation between the Yonkers Inspector General and I. You heard it. I mean, he said that the Board of Ethics had looked into it prior to this email being sent by a city resident. They found nothing unethical. The Board of Ethics cleared it. I did mention, but what about the email that was received? And he said, well, there was nothing there that he felt that warranted an investigation. So there was nothing there for them to do. You heard it. You tell me. I'm Freddie Vasquez. That's the convo with the Inspector General there. And again, it's all about transparency. Inspector General and Deputy Inspector General Paul Hart. It's nothing malicious, but the people would like to know these things. They didn't get any response, and they were inquiring, right? It caused a big issue in the primaries last year. And I think that it was something that people should have, been made aware if there were an investigation, or at least if there's nothing there to investigate, just let the people know. Mention that. Say that. And I think that would go a long way. Again, that speaks to the comments made by the mayor. Just speak to people. People just want to be validated. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is the Basement Politics Updates Break. See ya.